Do you feel dependent on sleeping on the couch, taking sleep medication, a supplement, or anything at all just to get some sleep? Well, guess what? You don't need to. And you want to know why? If so, stick around. Hi, I'm Caitlin, and if you are new here, welcome. I'm a registered nurse working full-time as an insomnia coach, and I overcame more than 20 years of severe insomnia. So I know what it's like and how to overcome it. I talk about all things insomnia and how to get the sleep you need right here on YouTube. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. As you get started in this video, make sure that you stick all the way to the end, because I'm going to be talking to you about how you can get back to sleep in your own bed, how to get off the sleep medications or whatever it is that you feel dependent on so that you can sleep the way that you want to. One of the biggest mistakes that people with insomnia make is to believe that they have to take a sleeping medication or a supplement or sleep on the couch, whatever it is, which means they feel dependent on these and they never fully recover from insomnia. Now, I know what it's like to be dependent on these things and feel like you have to do them. For me, I didn't sleep on the couch, but I slept on this like guest bed, not a regular bed in another room, but kind of like a blow-up mattress that you'd put if someone needed an extra bed. Mine was like a foam one that folded up, but I felt like I had to sleep on that. I'd put that in the living room. I had to go to sleep there. I could just go to sleep in the bed. I wouldn't sleep at all. I would go to there and I would get my 2 to 4 hours max every other night. Of course, I had a laundry list of way more things that I felt dependent on. I had to take supplements and things and all these things at these different specific hours. If I didn't get them exactly right, it would mess up the whole thing. So I totally understand. But I want you to think about this. If this is true, why can quote-unquote normal sleepers sleep in their own bed? Why don't they need to sleep on a couch or other places? Do people with insomnia have something natural in them that makes it so they can only sleep on a couch? Like, no, I mean, that's not the case, of course. Or are we creating these rules and putting pressure on ourselves? So likely for like the couch, maybe you went and slept there one time and you felt like you got more sleep. So then you kind of started this like pattern or dependency on it. Now you're like, oh, okay, I get more sleep there. And then you start sleeping there more and more and more. And now you're scared to sleep in your own bed. Now, if you went back to sleeping in your bed, you probably wouldn't get any sleep just because you're going to be worried and stressing and self-monitoring and fear that you are going to have this trouble sleeping again, and that's going to create some more trouble sleeping. So you also avoid recovering from insomnia when you avoid things like your bed, or if you're depending on these sleep medications. Now, of course, this isn't medical advice, and of course, talk to your doctor if you want to get off sleep medications. I can't give you advice on that, but recovering from insomnia requires facing that fear of sleeplessness. The more you fear sleeplessness, the more you're going to be stuck in that insomnia cycle. Your brain is confused and thinks there's a threat out there that it's trying to keep you safe from, which is sleeplessness. This happens because of the fear. It senses the fear, and you're trying to escape that sleeplessness with pills and supplements and everything that you're doing, meditation, everything you're trying to do to escape sleeplessness. And it thinks there's a threat out there. It is confused, and it's just trying to keep you safe. So the way to recover from insomnia is to not fear the sleeplessness. Sleeping on the couch, taking a medication, all this is just a way to try to escape or fight the sleeplessness. So I know it sucks to be awake, but the more you can show your body that you aren't fearing being awake, the more it'll take it off the threat radar and deactivate the fight or flight system and slowly work its way to more sleep. So people who have overcome insomnia, my clients that I talk to, just anyone in general who's overcome insomnia, knows that nothing external can produce sleep. So they let go trying to control their sleep, which means more and more sleep will happen. we need two things for sleep. Nothing external, all within us. We need a high sleep drive and no hyperarousal levels. So sleep drive is basically how sleepy you are. It's kind of like the longer you go without eating, the hungrier you get. The longer you are awake, the sleepier you'll get, the higher the sleep drive. Insomnia is almost never a sleep drive issue unless you're someone who's napping a lot during the day to make up for the lack of sleep at night. Then you don't have a sleep drive issue. The other thing you need is no hyperarousal levels. This is where we get stuck when we have insomnia. Hyperarousal levels are up. Your brain has identified a threat. It's activating the fight or flight system. So your hyperarousal levels are up. You're trying all these things to escape it, and they're going to fail because nothing external can make you sleep. All that frustration and failure is increasing the fight or flight and your hyperarousal levels, which is confirming to your brain that there's a threat out there and it's stronger than previously thought. So it strengthens, it amplifies that fight or flight system. And you just get stuck in this insomnia cycle. The more you try to control it, the more it leads to failure, the more frustration, and the stronger those hyperarousal levels get. So it's our hyperarousal levels that are getting in the way. The way you're going to be able to go back to sleeping in your bed is to go back to your bed. Once you feel ready, don't put pressure on yourself. When you feel ready and you don't want to be stuck there anymore, go sleep in your bed. Go lay in your bed. You may not get as much sleep the first few nights, however long it takes, because you're going to be all stressed and worried about not sleeping, and that's going to increase the hyperarousal levels and cause more trouble sleeping. But the more you can get your body used to it, to laying in bed, sleeping there, and not trying to fight sleeplessness, the more you're going to be able to get back to sleeping more in bed. Just be okay. Sorry, I got distracted by UPS. Be okay with just laying there and resting all night. If you are reacting to the fact that you're awake, you're going to be creating all this emotional, you're going to wear yourself out emotionally. It's going to make you more tired the next day. Whereas if you laid in bed and you rested, then you would be good to go. Now, getting off of sleeping pills, I can't give you advice on this. That's something you got to talk to your doctors about. But do know, one thing I want you to know is sleeping pills aren't actually making you sleep. I know it may seem like it. It's confusing, but I created a video on this, so I will post a link below. Definitely check it out. It's very interesting, very eye-opening, and that can help you decide if you want to get off the sleeping pills. If you don't want to be dependent on them forever, then I definitely recommend checking out the video and making a plan for yourself. So that's it. I hope that was helpful. I'm curious, do you feel dependent? What do you feel dependent on that you are ready to let go of forever and you don't want to be dependent on? I'm curious. Post them below because everyone has something different and a lot of us have a lot of things in common. So it's interesting. That's it.